Everyone. Hey, it's great to see everybody. I'm so happy to be here. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Monroe and the MEL conference team for having me. It's such a pleasure. For those of you who may not know, my name is Terrinique Pennerman, and I am the founder and CEO of Kurlee Belle. So Kurlee Belle is actually a natural hair care line. It's inspired by hair recipes from the islands of the Bahamas. We are also internationally distributed worldwide and locally here in the U.S. in stores like Sally Beauty and Walmart. I think you may have heard of Walmart. So I decided to go natural. So I decided to stop chemically relaxing my hair in about 2008, 2009. Going natural to me meant not using products that included chemicals, right? So I wanted to just not get relaxers anymore and just use products that were made from natural ingredients. I made this decision because every time I would relax my hair, I would get scabs in the back of my hair. And my hair just wasn't growing, it was like thinning out. And I always remember my mom telling me, when you were a little girl, I permed your hair, but I'm so sorry I did that because your hair was so pretty. Around that same time, I decided to go natural. Chris Rock did a documentary on good hair. I don't know if, some of you have watched it. So in this documentary, he just basically talked about the black hair industry, the main players, and he went into detail into like what was in the relaxers. One of the main ingredients, sodium hydroxide. And he demonstrated this by putting the sodium hydroxide on a raw piece of chicken. And I watched as that hydroxide eat through that chicken. I was like, I'm not. Then and there, I made a decision. I am not going to relax my hair anymore, but I'm also only going to use products that are made from natural ingredients. So I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina. I decided to go to like the health natural stores like Trader Joe's. So I went and I bought some natural shampoo, some natural conditioner. Man, I was excited. I went home. I put that stuff on my hair. My hair was hard as a rock. I'm like, this natural thing, I don't know, I have to rethink this, right? So anyway, growing up in Abaco, Bahamas, my mom would always make her own little treatments, like from stuff we had in the kitchen, like mayo, banana, avocado, olive oil. So I'm like, I'm just gonna start doing my own thing, like, mixing my own stuff, and it really worked. So my friend at the time was like, "Oh, Terry, your hair looks really good. You need to start your own hairline." And I'm like, okay, all right. And that's how Kurlee Belle began. So I started mixing my own stuff, and for my friend telling me, he saw something in that, and he said, you need to start your own company. So for me, it was important to make products that were not only made from natural ingredients, but that did exactly what it said on the label, right? And that were for the everyday woman, because growing up on the island, I always remember women saying they relaxed their hair and their daughter's hair because it was so hard to manage. So I wanted products that would make the hair softer and more manageable. So what I did was I documented what I was learning while creating my products. So this is 2008, 2009. I documented what I was doing in creating my products in the form of a blog, and I called it Kurlee Belle. So Kurlee Belle, I would always tell people, I own a natural hair care line. No products. I had products that I was using. I had no products out there. And I remember Miles Monroe Sr. saying, I went to one of his Bible studies that he used to host in his and BFM, and I remember him saying, remember Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, right? And you always remember that because he always said, I have a dream. He always spoke about it. So he said, you got to speak things into existence, right? I was doing that, right? But I didn't really realize it until I went to that Bible study and heard Miles Monroe Sr. said, this is what you got to do to bring your dream into fruition. So I'm like, people looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm saying I have a natural hair, Caroline. They're like, you're in finance. You're working at a bank. What do you know? You're not even a hairdresser. But I'm like, you know what? I have a hairline, man. I was so crazy, y'all. I came to the World Natural Hair Show here in Atlanta. I had a booth with my name, with the Kurlee Belle name up. We was selling T-shirts that said, kiss my curls, I got curls. And I'm telling people, my products are coming, you know? But they was buying these, and they bought into it. Man, 2008, 2009. Y'all, I didn't launch my products until February 2nd, 2013. The whole time. And I was working a 9 to 5. And first thing in the morning, when I got up, I was doing Kurlee Belle. Lunchtime, I was doing Kurlee Belle. 5 o'clock when I got off, I was doing Kurlee Belle. The money that I was making, I was putting it into Kurlee Belle. Now, I wasn't broke, but Kurlee Belle was rich. You understand what I'm saying? So everything that I made, I put into it. And I think there's something to be said there, like, there's no excuses, right? If you want to be an entrepreneur and you have a 9 to 5 job, you can still do it. Yeah. What are you doing with those other hours in the day, you know? I mean, I know we have family, I know some people have children, but there's no excuse to follow your dream, because I feel like if I didn't do that, then I would always have like the regret, like what if, you know? So anyway, I was working around the clock, went to the Natural Hair Show. On February 2nd, 2013, one of the girls I went to school with, her fiance was a website developer. So I had him do my site for me. So he said, Terry, we need to launch the site. I'm trying to do his Pakistani like accent. I can't do it anyway. So he's like, we need to launch the site. Let's put everything up for $1. We'll just test it. You know, I'll buy something. So we put the site up, everything up for $1. So I'm like, okay, Hamid, let's go. We're ready. It was like 11 o'clock at night. He made it live. We got a sale from this lady in Canada. She brought the products. And I'm like, what in the world? We just put the site up. How she know? How does she know to, you know? People had been signing up. It said the Kurlee Belle products was coming soon, but they had been signing up for notifications for when the site went live. Like people who I'd met through going to places like the World Natural Hair Show without any products. And people who like followed the blog, people who bought the shirts, you know, they really bought into it and they were really waiting. So anyway, Hamid was like, ship her the products, Terry, you know. This is your first customer, so that's what I did. I shipped her the products. But from then on, like it took a lot of work. Like it wasn't easy. You know, there are a lot of products on the market. You're competing with so many different people. So if you're not passionate about what you're doing, if you don't believe in what you're doing, you're gonna get discouraged easy. You're gonna get discouraged because it's gonna be a lot of years where you ain't gonna be making no money. And you're just gonna be pumping money into your dream, and you're not gonna see, you know, you're thinking like, I'm not seeing the end of the tunnel here. But because I believed in the product so much, and they worked so well for me, I know that I had something special. So around about 2 years after that, not 2 years, about a year or so, we started getting like requests from like mom and pop shops, like all over. So we got stores like in Australia, we got stores in France, in the UK, Jamaica, of course the Bahamas. So I was like selling to the pharmacies, the beauty supply mom and pop shop. So this guy I went to school with, I was posting everything online, of course, on my personal Facebook, my personal Instagram, out on the companies. So one of the guys I went to MBA school with, he was a big executive at Walmart. So he says to me, he's like, Terry, I see what you're doing. I want you to come interview, at Walmart. So I'm like, okay. Honestly, I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, Walmart, But anyway, Kit, I'll do it. You said, I'll come. So I went. So luck would have it that the lady who was in charge of hair care for Walmart, she wasn't there. Well, the multicultural section, she wasn't there. She was at Essence Fest in New Orleans. So I was like, oh, Lord, I came all the way here, and the lady even ain't here. So he said, no. You're going to meet with the head of hair care for all of Walmart. That lady's boss you're going to meet with. So I was like, okay. So I meet with the guy, looks nothing like me, right? So I'm like, okay, this is good. He's like, I love you. I love this. I can put you in all of my stores right now. I'm like, okay. Okay. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that. I am a one-woman band, right? So anyway, close the deal with Walmart. But I'm telling you, when you promote yourself, promote something that you believe in, people will see you, and the doors will just open up for you. So anyway, I'm still working. That's great. You're in Walmart. Listen, don't not drink your own Kool-Aid. That doesn't mean anything. You have to still work. You have to work, because even though it's like running a marathon, and then you reach your goal. Like they have a goal post here, and you reach that. But you got to continue running. You don't just stay here and bask in, oh, this is an accomplishment. You have to keep pouring into whatever it is you're doing and keep reinventing yourself. When I first started, I was the graphic person, the accountant, the lawyer, the research and development team. Like, my little dog that I had in Charlotte, she passed away maybe a month ago. And I was looking through the old pictures of her. And a picture of her, I had a sketch on the table, and it had the product sketch, I had sketched out how I wanted the products to look. And I was like, my baby, the little dog, Princess, she was there from the beginning, So you have to do the work until you can pay people to do the work for you. So if there's a business you want to do, and you think that, and you feel like you lazy, you ain't got it in you, don't start, because it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot out of you. So anyway, we're in Walmart for about 2 years. Then Sally Beauty calls, and they're like, we see what you're doing online, on Instagram. We really recognize your brand. We want your products in our stores. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm thinking I have to go interview, because if you look online, if I look at my competitors online, most of my competitors, or every one of my competitors, they had to go to the Sally Beauty headquarters, interview with them to get into Sally Beauty. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I got to fly out there. The lady said, no. We want your products in the store. You don't need to come for interview. We want your products. We'll start sending you, purchase orders. And I was like, okay, because God is good. God is faithful. I'm like, all right, because when you do the work, what's the scripture? All hard work brings a profit. I don't know the exact, verse or whatever, but when you do the work, it'll come. So anyway, we got into Sally Beauty last year, and since then, a total, we're in hundreds of stores. in the U.S. and all over the world, and all of this came from basically me saying, I have a hair care line. I ain't got no products, but I have a hair care line. I told my granddad, I said, Granddaddy, I have a hair care line. Granddaddy said, baby, that's good, but you need to go get yourself a good government job. And I said, Granddad, no, you don't understand. But the power of your words, like speaking things into existence, believing in something, not doing it for the money, but doing it because this is something that you want to, that you are really passionate about. So I'll just encourage you, first of all, if you have a dream, to talk about it. Like Miles Monroe Sr. said, Martin Luther King said, I had a dream. You remember him to this day because he opened his mouth and he said, I have a dream. So talk about it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the hard work. It's gonna be a lot of years probably where you don't see a profit. But if you believe in it, trust me, the world is gonna eventually believe in you. Understand and accept that the people in your circle, your husband, your wife, your sister, whoever, your best friend, they may not support you. Do not let that stop you, because if they don't, some people can't believe in themselves. So how you expect them to believe in you? You around here saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They're looking at you like, you ain't doing that. You ain't good enough. But people only believe you after you've done it. But honestly, I know it's hard, when you have a circle of people and they don't believe in you. I know it's hard, but Jesus even said a prophet is without honor not in his own home. So you gotta just don't find people who listen to you. Even though you gotta go home to your husband, he talking, whatever, find somebody who will listen to you. Even just say it, get on his nerves, say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have. But get around the right people and don't let anybody dull your fire. Because you could find people online. Social media is so big now. You could get your social media page, and you'll have these strangers just waving a flag and cheering for you. Find people that have that common, that commonality. And like I said earlier, success is a journey. It's not a destination. Just because you launch the product don't mean your work stops then. You got to keep working. Just because you land this big deal don't mean you are it. You made it. No, honey, you got to keep working. Stay laser focused. In the beginning, I was laser focused. When I say laser focused, my girlfriends would come over and they'd be like, oh, let's go get our nails done. Let's go to the movies for years. I would be like, I can't do it. I go to work, I come home, I got to work on Kurlee Belle, I can't do it. I can't go to Aruba, I can't do the trip. So sometimes you have to not do, just not live the glamorous life or not indulge until you meet your goals. And I would tell you, listen to your gut and do what feels right. Don't look at what other people are doing and try to copy what they're doing and think you're going to get the same results. I think that with social media, it allows you to have access into so many people's lives, but it doesn't allow you to have real access because they show you what they want to show you. They paint this pretty picture, and then you're sitting there comparing yourself I'm not doing that, But I would say just be laser focused on what you believe in, and not disconnect from social media if you have to. Don't look at people's profiles if it's gonna make you feel bad about yourself, or they doing better than you. Half of them ain't doing better than you. They just post. They know how to post better than you can post. I know that for a fact. But anyway, I hope that me sharing my experience with you will definitely help you guys, or help anyone that wants to start from the ground, but wants to start from anything from scratch. Thank you.